You know, it's me and Cory have very similar styles. Cory did do a really good job against Umar, creating scrambles and like keeping his hips high when Umar tried to get to his back. Umar and Merab have different grappling strengths and techniques, but man, I think if Merab can get a hold of Cory, I just don't see. Merab felt just so strong and just really strong in those certain positions. His gas tank's ridiculous. I don't know. I think if I had to guess, Merab, but it's hard for me to count Cory out because I do think Cory, like, skill for skill, is one of the best guys in the UFC. I think he's got more skills overall than Merab, but Merab, that skill set he does have is so good, so dominant. It's very Habib-like in a sense, and it's hard to count either one of those guys out. But yeah, if I had to guess, I'm kind of leaning towards Merab.
Hearing Trevor Whitman break down this fight and give coaching advice to Cory Sandhagen, he was saying how they're trying to work on him developing more kill shots. And I think that's the approach here. You can't try to win rounds against someone like Merab. I just don't think it's going to happen. Not with Sandhagen's style and with his game. I think he's got to be more aggressive. Now, how do you change that mold? How do you change someone's natural inclination to do something in a training camp to just all of a sudden do it during the fight? I think that's extremely difficult, to change the nature of a fighter. And that's essentially what Trevor Whitman's going to try to do. Now, we've seen it done before, but it is very rare. And because of that, I have a hard time believing that Cory Sandhagen's going to be able to stop this menace of a wrestler in Merab Dvalishvili. I think Dvalishvili's takedown, his pacing, his conditioning, and his improving submission game, and just all-around grittiness and toughness is going to be tough for anybody in that division to defeat. I see Merab losing that belt when he retires. That's when he gives that up, I think.
Wow.
So give me Merab Dvalishvili over Cory Sandhagen.
One thing I may be a little nervous for with Merab, obviously he had a lot of success on the feet against Sean in the last fight. I thought he looked great on the feet. But again, I feel like he was able to freeze Sean and get him so worried about the takedown where he could let his hands go. I don't feel like the opportunities for Sandhagen are going to be there. So does he take confidence in his striking coming into this one? I think it's going to be a bad idea. So it would be hard for me to bet against Merab if I know Merab's going to just do what he always does and just, sort of play it safe, get the takedowns and just have fun that way. Like, even though it's great to watch, will he want to be like, I want to set a statement on the feet? Because if he does, I think there could be a big problem. And now you're going to ask me, who am I picking? Which, I'm ready to sit on the fence and not have to pick. But I will get straight into it and say who I think I'm going to pick. I'm just going to have to go with Merab. I just think, from what he's done, I think he can play safe enough. Even if he does get hurt, I think he can get himself out of trouble by just sticking on. And then if he does get hurt early, does he be like, all right, ain't messing about no more?
Does Cory have any chance against Merab? That's from Jeremy. Jeremy, yes, I would say yes. Okay, now Merab is really impressive. I think he's a bantamweight GOAT. But still, Cory Sandhagen is a very special individual, and I think a flying knee, a devastating elbow here or there, a head kick could be very surprising, and he could get the job done. Now, am I picking Cory? No, I'm not picking Cory. I'm picking Merab. However, I still think Cory's got what it takes to maybe shock the world.
Could Cory have composure, bro, and not lose his gas tank, bro? Like, that's it. If he can just find the easiest way to get up and just relax, you're gonna get taken down. You are going to be taken down repeatedly. But could you just relax, get up, use your strengths, and let him? You almost flip the game plan on Merab. But the key is composure, bro. You know what I'm saying? The key's gonna be composure in this fight. If Cory, Cory's got better striking.
There's no if. Make your definitive choice here.
But that's I'm gonna go with more significant strikes for Cory Sandhagen. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. That's fair enough. But you're picking Cory Sandhagen as the winner.
I'm picking Cory. I'm picking Cory on
win.
this one.
I mean, Sandhagen's a problem for sure with his length and. But Merab he's that guy. I can't go against Merab.
Yeah, I think Cory's pretty special with his striking. The way he moves is very cool. I trained alongside of him a couple of times. He's been to Holland, trained with us over there.
He looks a little Dutch.
Yeah, he looks pretty Dutch too.
He kind of does. He's not tall enough to be Dutch though.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a hard one to pick because I would say that Merab has the wrestling has such an advantage over him that he can kind of dictate taking him down when he wants. And he kind of in a couple fights back, I saw Cory mostly focused on Granby rolling every time somebody shot on him, and I don't think that's the best way to stop Merab's takedowns. Yeah, I think Merab should get the win here.
This is a very dangerous fight for Merab, especially strategically, because Cory is very good strategically, and his losses have come from losing the strategic battle.
Yeah.
And I think that he might have been able to figure that out because he's a guy who learns from his mistakes. And if he learned from the mistakes of TJ Dillashaw and Umar Nurmagomedov, those are the things that he's going to need to have figured out in order to beat a guy like Merab. And you got to anticipate and expect that he has figured that out. Cory has a really good chance of winning this fight. If I had to guess, I would say I'm almost going 50-50. But I'm going to go 49-51. 51 Merab, 49 Cory.
I've looked at Merab's striking over his last few fights, and it's cleaned up.
Yeah.
He's improved. Defensively, he's gotten much better. We saw that when he started taking the fight to Umar, took the fight to Sean. It's gotten better. Prior to those fights, he used to get clipped like every fight, dude. You know what I mean? Defensively, he's tightened up. Okay, so it takes away those chances, those chance moments, those punches chances that everybody has out of the equation. And then Merab will get you down. Bet your bottom dollar at some point you're getting taken down. And no matter what you do, the little stamina vampire is going to get more energy and you are going to have less. And then that just sets the tone for the entire 25 minutes.
Finding a guy like Merab, at this stage, it's hard to go against him, and I'm always going to pick him in his last couple of fights. I mean, his whole run that he's on. You can't deny him of anything. We saw him against a guy like O Malley, who has a similar style to Sandhagen in a way, and a tall, lanky guy, likes the flashy striking, and Merab's been able to just get past that quickly. So I'm going to go with Merab in this one.
I'm going with Merab. Sandhagen's good. I think he'll do better than O'Malley in the rematch. We're looking at a decision here. 48-47, 49-46 Merab. I do want a KO finish one time at bantamweight before the end of my days. And I fear if Merab keeps going, we will never see that. Okay? I miss bantamweight striking. I really do. But he will beat Sandhagen. Sandhagen will do better at O'Malley because of his Granby rolls and his submissions and his leg lock game. He's done a lot of work with Ryan Hall and a lot of these specifics and perfectionists in their field. He came up training with TJ Dillashaw, Dwayne Ludwig. So everything he does is very, very fundamentally sound. But he needs to unlock some killer instinct here. Some real killer instinct here. And I don't think reading his Art of War book and writing in his diary about how a flying knee might happen is going to work. Now, maybe flying knee's Merab and I've just jinxed it.
This Geek Squad computer programmer is he really doesn't work for the Geek Squad, so don't be calling Geek Squad asking for Cory Sandhagen. He really doesn't work for them. But this man is a technician, a guy that works so super hard. And for the matchup, this is with my heart here. I'm gonna go with my teammate and my boy, Cory Sandhagen, for the new